First barbecue of the summer for us, Prime Day, and this is a way of showing our appreciation,
a lot of what I do
and showing that we're fighting union and we're here for them. And feeding them is something that's minimum, but it's just showing that the union cares for them, and if they can enjoy a free meal going in and out, why not? So it's all inclusive. Today we also have the Writers Guild join us. So it's really important to show that solidarity as Prime Day approaches and Prime unions around the world are going to be shopping for the next week. We want to make sure that they don't forget about the workers in the warehouse.
What would you say to Prime people taking advantage of Prime Day? What would you say to them and they support your movement, they support the union, but they're taking advantage of Prime Day?
Yeah, donate to us. You know, we're grassroots. We don't have union dues. We don't have a contract. So as a guilty conscience, we're going to spend a few dollars on Prime and throw a few dollars towards the Amazon labor union. As you can see, it's all worker-led. These workers clocking into this building 40, 50, 60 hours a week. Help them out. Help them defeat a $1 trillion company.
And what are your thoughts about the upcoming UPS strike?
Yeah, I know the Teamsters is going on strike, and that's good. It's a start. You know, I mean, I know it sounds like it's a lot, but I've been to other countries where they get 3 million people to go on strike. So we're at the beginning, and that's good to see that they're doing it, and we support them in solidarity. But we need other labor leaders to step up too.
My name is Miss Mina. I am the Secretary-Treasurer of Amazon Labor Union. And for people that are hesitant on joining the union is like a family. Amazon is not going to treat you like family. We look out for each other. We look out for the workers. We look out for you inside of Amazon and outside of Amazon. So no matter whether you're going through a write-up, suspension, somebody's harassing you, whatever the case may be, manager's not treating you right, you come to us and we address HR directly from our office. We get the lawyers involved with the unfair labor practice directly. We have several lawyers. They've been winning cases. Our teams of lawyers are awesome. They have won almost all the cases that we've had against Amazon, including the 25 counts they had against us of the election. We won all of them. They were all dismissed. So we got a great team of lawyers. They're gonna look out for you. They're gonna look out for Amazon. And if you're injured, we got Sean Reardon, who's our workman's compensation lawyer, who will help look out for you with that as well. So anything you have, we're working on building more and more services for your workers. So come on and join the team, and we build this together, and we will prevail for the Amazon workers.
Do you know how many members you have?
Well, I know that we have a mailing list. I don't really take care of that. How many hundreds? I know there are hundreds. I don't know how many or thousands, but I know the list is like 8,000 names on the mailing list. Now, the ones who mostly deal with that, I think, is Claudia and I think Michelle. They would know the numbers directly. I don't take care of that, but it's growing more and more and more. But you know, we're fighting an internal and external fight, as you may know, and so. With that being said, we want to assure the workers of the right way things are supposed to be. We want to assure the workers that we are the ones that in Washington, D.C., our names are certified as the President, Vice President, Secretary, Treasurer, and the Recording Secretary. We're the ones that, if God forbid anything happens, they're going to come to us. It's on our backs, not the people that may be trying to sign you up in the building, whatever. We are fully responsible to the federal government for what happens to this union as well as the workers in the building. So just come to us. We're the real deal.
My name is Jordan Flowers. I'm the co-founder of Amazon Labor Union and TCOEW, which is the Congress of Essential Workers. We put it today for Prime Day. Workers don't get free food in there, so we come out, support, engage. I mean, right now, it's about to be shift change. Next shift's going in at 5:15. They come by, get free food, we talk, let them know that, you know, their rights is human rights. Worker power is a great power, and that our resources right now are free. You know, we're not charging, and that, you know, utilize everything that we have because Amazon's a $1 trillion company. And that, oh damn. That, hey, let me put my phone down. That, you know, this company use you, abuse you. They abused me. I have to get a kidney transplant at the end of the year. Get back there. You know, they don't care. You're just a number in the stat. You're just 2 arms and 2 legs. That, you know, you shouldn't even think in this building. And that you should be here with the people who care for each other and want to actively be engaged and be protected. Boy, that's it. You know, we're also here today, you know, give back to the workers. You know, they work hard. Like I mentioned earlier, they work very, very hard. 10, 12 hours. We're talking about almost a 60-hour week for Prime Week that they're not going to even get fed or treated well. So we're here today also to give out the free food and, you know, give them that power that, you know, you guys control this and that they have the power to stop this and have the right to have a contract. You know, so we're here today in solidarity and, you know, fighting a good fight.
Have you worked for Amazon?
I've been here since opening day, September 26, 2018. Got fired as of last year. Been terminated 3 times, but as of last year, they said I voluntarily resigned, which isn't true. I fight to keep my medical insurance because I couldn't get it at the time, and Amazon was the only one holding me accountable for it. And now that I didn't have it at the time, I couldn't see a doctor for 5 or 6 months. So, you know, that's what we're here to fight for, workers like me and workers like yourselves.
And you need you said a kidney transplant?
Kidney transplant, yes.
Wow.
I had both my kidneys failed at the age of 13.
Wow.
So, you know, being here 12 years later, you know, by the grace of God, you know, just happy to be alive and tell my story and fight a good fight with my brothers and my team.
Hello, my name is Rena Cummings. I am a member of the Amazon Labor Union. I'm also staff at the Amazon Labor Union. I am the office manager / officer of compliance and grievance, mostly grievances that I help. I deal with the members who walk into the office or call on the telephone to tell us about their grievance against Amazon. Some of the violations, like the unfair labor practices that's going on. Things like, for example, things like terminating people for a productivity rate because they didn't make their rate that day or that week, or because of previous write-ups for the same issue. And so day to day at the Amazon Labor Union, that's what I deal with members. What I do is when they come into the office and they call me, we kind of give them like a crash course in unionization and what it means, what protections they have and what rights they have, and what to do if a manager comes up to them. We teach them about their wine garden rights, what it is and how to use it and exercise that said right. So.
And what is there's this barbecue today, today's Prime Day. Can you just tell us about
Well,
barbecue?
today is Prime Day. We're out here doing a barbecue for the Amazon, the Amazon workers and also Amazon Labor Union members because their schedule was changed by no fault of their own for the sake of productivity and profitability. They're working 11 hours with just a half an hour lunch break. I believe it's 2 half-an-hour lunch break, but they're so far in between that, you know, it doesn't really do what it's supposed to do. But they'll be working 11 hours, and that does not even count for the time that it takes them to commute. So we're just gonna come out here, show some solidarity, and offer them lunch, a healthier lunch, for the day.
Yeah, because I know it takes them like a couple of minutes to actually get to the break room
Exactly.
from their station, right? So
Right,
by the time
it depends.
they get there,
It depends on what break room you're choosing to use. I know my break room. I picked the nearest break room. I got it down to 3 minutes walk in my time there, and so yeah. But it can take up to 7 or 10 minutes depending on if you're leaving the first floor, 4th floor, 2nd floor, and going someplace else.
it's like half hour already.
Right, exactly. So then, and that doesn't count your bathroom time, because they want you to do that while your break time. You have to use the bathroom then. Otherwise, you could get written up for using the bathroom too many times. I had a member come into the office yesterday who, that was one of the reasons for her write-ups. When she tried to appeal it, the manager, who was another female, proceeded to tell her that, well, according to the surveillance, she went to the bathroom a couple of times. So for that reason, her write-up could not be appealed for low productivity.
So you're not allowed to use the bathroom more than a certain amount of times.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah. And you know what's sad? Because I never had that issue, because after 4.5 years, it was like my body synchronized to when was the break, but also I measured my intake of water. I won't do gulps, I would do sips. and I know what you're saying, you're thinking, that's insane.
Yeah.
If I'm thirsty, I'm gonna drink.
Right.
But I would have to do that, just do sips, not to gulp it all, especially in the summer months, it gets hotter in the building. So yeah, those things, not every station is equipped with a fan. And the AC has blind spots, it's not everywhere. The more conveyor belts you're around, the hotter it is, because the more machinery and power it takes. So, yeah.
And we were talking about one of your members who had gotten terminated.
Who was terminated today. So she came into the office yesterday. It was her third and final write-up. According to the Amazon policy, your write-ups is supposed to be removed after 30 days. When you get the write-up, you have a right to appeal it. And if you can't, after 30 days, it's supposed to be removed from your work history or your record. But what we see happen is Amazon violates their own policy, and so they're not removing it. They're keeping it on and just adding to the number. And so I tried to advise her yesterday after I gave her the crash course on her wine garden rights, what to do, and that there was a shop steward right in her very department to ask for him, to ask him to accompany her if anybody comes up to her. She asked the managers to provide her union rep, and they didn't provide that. They told her that they don't affiliate with the union, there is no union, and they don't recognize the union, so she wouldn't have one. And so yeah, they escorted her to a room and they terminated her for low productivity. Even though yesterday when she came to the office, she achieved the productivity level. Actually, she exceeded it for the day, but she was told by the manager that it didn't matter for the day. It didn't matter. They were focused on what happened in the past. And some of the reasons for the low productivity is that sometimes you come to work, there is no work. There are things that has to happen for you to be able to produce the numbers that Amazon requires, right? So the conditions have to be right. For example, I have to have a consistent flow of work. One, there can be mechanical failures. And also another thing is, if something spills, that's not my fault. I have to clean it. I have to stop and clean up the mess. And I used to deal with that issue all the time because I worked on the flat induct. It's another machine on a ship dock. It's like the last part of the package is going out. So in packing, they would tell the people, oh, don't add bubble wrap, because the time you take to grab the bubble wrap and put it into the box, it cuts down your productivity, how much you package, how fast you go. So the boxes will rattle. And I don't know if you felt a conveyor belt before. It's a very hard rubber. It's like a car tire, moving, and packages is moving on it. And sometimes the packages don't survive. They open up, they get squished, it bursts open, and stuff will spill. And manager will come to me and they will try to tell me the policy they have in place is another department is supposed to come and clean up the mess. So I'll have to stop, go get the manager, and then he has to radio that department. And all this time, it would take at least an hour and a half for someone to come. And then almost always they would tell me, oh, we can't touch the packages. So I'm like, so then what are you doing here? So I used to clean up my spills myself. After all, I have 2 children. I can clean up a spill. Being visually impaired and all that, I did it just to cut down the time, because I'm the one that felt the short end of that stick. However long the bureaucracy, I'm the person that they're gonna come to at the end of the day, oh, you're not packing. And literally, I will be cleaning up and they will come to me, oh, you're not packing. And I'm like, look at what I'm dealing with. You know, and they were like, oh, okay. Well, as soon as you're finished, and I'm like, that goes without saying, you know? So I understand that, and that's another thing that that's the beauty, I would like to say the beauty in being a worker-led union. It's like every person who goes into that building, I understand what they go through, right? So they are me and I am them, is what I always say. You know, to all my fellow Amazon labor union members. I am them and they're me. And I get it. I know what it takes to work in that building day in and day out and not be appreciated.
How long have you worked for Amazon?
I worked up to March 30th of this year, 4.5 years. I started working in the building 2 months after it opened. And I was terminated because I got sick with bronchitis and I applied for intermittent leave, meaning if I could work on some days because I felt okay, I would come to work. And on some days where I couldn't work, I should be excused because New York State does have a paid sick leave law. They didn't approve my leave, which I know was retaliation because I've taken leave before. Even the manager I went to, so I explained the situation, he will always make the call to HR. He told me this time he wasn't in charge of that. So I said, you're not in charge of fixing my time anymore, or you're just not doing it for me, and he didn't answer my question. So it was retaliation, and so the Amazon Labor Union helped me file the unfair labor practice because I'm a sharp steward, and I believe they were retaliating against me. So after missing 3 days in a 5-week time span, I used all my time and I missed 3 days and I got negative UPT because I used all my time.
Now you said a lot of retaliation is because of taking part in this union building,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. What we're seeing now is they're trying to get rid of all the people that started working during the union elections from 3 and 4 years ago. It's almost like they think, or maybe their computer algorithm told them that if they get rid of all those people who are union affiliated, then the union is gonna fall apart, right? It won't happen. So they're bringing in these new people and calling them seasonal workers, but they're working for up to 11 months, 9 months, 10 months. You know, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And we see that because the other day I had a member call. He was visually impaired. He had accommodations. And they were getting on him for his productivity level. Even though he has accommodations, he shares the assistive device, a laptop that talks back to him and tells him the customer information and when to pack. He shares it with another visually impaired individual. That's only 15 minutes when the shift changes. So nobody updates the computer, and sometimes it will update right in the middle of him doing his job. And so he has to stop because it's an assistive device. If he's not getting the instructions, it doesn't work. And they were writing him up for that. So he came into the office to find out how can we help. He voted for the union, he just hadn't been active. So again, I give him the crash course in his Bill of Rights and what we could do. So we printed his ID, we give him the t-shirts and all that stuff. And then I had someone, which was the Vice President, Michelle Valentine, accompany him to speak to Amazon, and they would not speak to her. They said she has the recording that they said that they would speak to him one-on-one because they were threatening to put him on leave. They just remove him off the schedule. And so he happened to come into a meeting at the office where Chris was there. And so he asked Chris what should he do, and Chris told him, go back to work. Get all your information, your tools that Rena is gonna give you to arm you with, and go back to work. And to double down on that effort, I had a shop steward accompany him. And that's what was said. He went back to work. He's there now, but he's still gonna file his Division of Human Rights violation. That's a charge that a thing that we filed for them discriminating against him for his disability, because you take the tax credit, right, to hire a disabled person, but then you don't give them the reasonable accommodations, even though he does have it. It's not being implemented, and then you terminate them. That's not fair. That's not fair.
And for workers who don't know where the office is it at a discrete location?
No, the office, actually, I don't know what happened to Google Maps, but you can Google us. The office for the Amazon Labor Union is at 900 South Avenue. We strategically made the office closer to the warehouse. So it's actually about 8 minutes drive from the warehouse, 900 South Avenue in Staten Island, New York. It's right not far from the warehouse at all.
Being out here is to continue to interact with the employees, to let them know how active we are. And we're at a stage where basically we're trying to get our contract. Amazon has been stalling. We are getting the support to fight to make sure we get our contract, but letting the employees know that where we are and what we're planning for that could benefit them. And being out here is giving them an opportunity to interact with us more and for us to give them much more information that they probably didn't have. That's all I like to offer for now.
Have you worked for Amazon or you just?
So I work for Amazon. I've been with them since 2015. And this is my third location with them. I started in Avenel, New Jersey. Then I went to Carteret, and then I transferred to here. And this is one of my better moves because so far this is the only Amazon location that is unionized. Right. So me making this move, I'm seeing the benefit of it today.
And what's it like working in this warehouse?
What can I say? Working at Amazon warehouse is not really the best thing. Basically, you have to be doing two persons' job a day. You're basically doing if you want to hold a job at Amazon, you have to basically doing two-person jobs a day. It's not like a regular working environment. You put on a lot of pressure. You have to deal with quotas. You got to deal with numbers. You're constantly interrupted with your numbers and all those kind of stuff. So it's not an easy task.
It's a lot of hours, right?
A lot of hours, 10 hours a day. But having the union now, you can see the union making some kind of an impact. The pressures we had 2 years ago is not to that level. It's not to that level. And we're winning cases, we're fighting for employees, and they're getting their job back. So there's much improvement since we became unionized.
Like, where are you at with like recognition and stuff?
Well, we are not getting recognition by the company, but
Yeah.
We're certified by the government, and we have a bargaining order that is being appealed by Amazon. So until the NLRB gives us our bargaining order, we can't do nothing.
Okay.
So it's not us.
Yeah. No.
It's just the fact that the NLRB process in this country is weak as hell.
Yeah.
The laws are outdated.
Yep.
They're trying their best, but there's no
Yeah.
real law that protect our
100%.
What it is that the corporation's been changing the laws on the state side over time, and we're just normal people. We're not going, hey, what's happening with the NLRB today?
Yeah.
But they're changing the laws. They're fighting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So these laws could have been in place 10 years, 20 years,
Yeah.
and they're still making laws as they go right now as we're speaking.
Are you all organizing like with SCIU or like a broader union, or is it just it's your group trying to get recognition from the NLRB? You know what I mean?
We're trying to get a bargaining order from the NLRB.
Yeah.
That's it. Other unions, unfortunately, ain't been there to help us on that end.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that, as an independent union, we face. We're not a part of the AFL-CIO. We're not a part of a bigger union. We're not a part of the Democratic Party. And our union dues don't go towards these politicians. So because of that, it's like, oh yeah, we stand with y'all, but when it comes to politics, we're on the outside. It shouldn't be that way. And it's not our burden to carry. It's just that we have to amplify all of these things, and we have to hold unions accountable too.
I don't know.
Last year alone, all the established, most powerful unions in this country only spend 3% of their resources on new organizing. That's Amazon Labor Union and Starbucks workers.
Yeah.
That's a damn shame. We made the biggest union victory in modern day history last year.
Yeah.
And everybody should have supported that. But unfortunately, it's like, oh, we can do it better. So let's start an Amazon division. Or let's try to organize a building all over the damn country without us, the one that did it. So
which organization are you talking about?
all of them. I mean, all of them. You can go down the line. Teamsters, AFL. I done got calls from everybody all over the country that's organized in different buildings, and they don't call us first.
Right, right.
You know, they call one of the locals that's already established because they don't know any better as an Amazon worker.
Yeah.
And then they realize, like, oh shit,
You gotta take the grill and get those.
there's a lot of politics going on with this one.
Yeah.
So we'll come in and try to help, but at that time they done met with 3-4 different unions. Now, does that make any sense?
Right.
No.
Right.
Now you're just continuing to divide the workers and put them in a position to, oh, I got to figure out which one is better than which. But it shouldn't be that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazon workers is the Amazon labor union. Let us become established.
Yeah.
But instead, we're making it a competition.
Yeah, the Teamsters.
And it's like,
That's right.
That's why those people lost their jobs and what you call it. Because they raced to give them a contract, them truck drivers, they lost their job. Because you can't just take third-party people and say we're going to unionize. We all know.
Get the other one.
well, yeah, I mean, it's just a bigger, it's a bigger
The
issue.
revolution has to wait.
Yeah, let's try that again.
It's a bigger issue than what we can solve. But like I said, we're walking and chewing bubblegum. You know, we're doing the best we can. But these labor leaders, besides myself and others, they need to step up. Just see what it
If you're
is.
ever, like, I don't know if this would help. I really don't know how the NLRB, like, process works, but I'm just thinking of, like, what we can do, like, what our organization can do to support. If you're ever doing, like, a social media push or, like, a letter writing campaign for the NLRB approval, you should be in touch with us, yeah.
Like I said, I don't know the politics behind y'all union, but at the same time, when I was in DC last week, and you know I was talking for another cause, but the AFL-CIO is right across the street.
Yeah.
No, Liz Show's right there. Teamsters is right down the street, and there's a dire need to change the labor laws in this country.
Yeah.
If not, start a whole labor party. Who's going to step up as a labor leader and sacrifice as much as they need to get that message out there? I spent over 300 days. Right, and look, we've been out here when we campaigned. We spent over 300 days out here. We ain't go nowhere. So that was a huge sacrifice.
Yeah.
We all got kids. I got kids. He got kids. Most of us got kids. We sacrificed all that time away from our family so that we can get them to vote yes, and we did that. Now, it's like the door is open, the floodgate's open. Now everybody got to storm it.
Yeah.
Can't allow 3% of resources from established unions, Teamsters with $350 million. They love to brag about that shit. Send us $1 million. That's all we ask for, and see what we do with it.
So this is a membership table where members can come and register under the union. So here we have some people who have already registered. They can pass by and pick up their cards, their cards. Okay, and here we have literature. What the fight is all about. Workers' comp, information, in case you get write-ups, how to contact the union. So this table is the literature table. Those who have problems.
I'm Ellie, by the way. We are here for the Amazon Labor Union Barbecue. Selena and I are both members of the Writers Guild, and so we're here to have Diet Cokes and support the labor movement.
Especially because Amazon is one of the studios where we're struck from working with right now. So I think on a micro level, it shows that there is a common enemy between different labor movements. But on a macro level, it does describe that all of our labor work actually does need to coexist, and we should all have more inter-union solidarity.
Absolutely. And can you give us an update on what's going on with the strike?
We're in week 10 and we're still waiting for the studios to come back to the table. We've been waiting for them to make a reasonable counteroffer on any of our proposals, and they haven't. You know, they've been dealing with SAG-AFTRA, as you probably know, and so it seems like the SAG situation is going to resolve itself one way or the other this week, or either SAG will go on strike or they may reach a deal this week. Either way, it's taken the studios way too long to talk to us, and we're hoping that they will be somewhat reasonable and come back and continue the conversation once the SAG negotiations have ended. But yeah, and I was just going to add to Celine's earlier point, like, part of what the strike has been about from the get-go and what our negotiations have been about from the get-go is that Amazon has really applied such a similar mentality to like the workers who are out here and to workers on the entertainment end of their business. It's a lot of cutting jobs, pushing people to the limit, and automating some of the work, which is what they're trying to do in the entertainment business. And then, you know, we've been protesting them today as well because they give such abysmal healthcare to their workers, and they're a really anti-abortion company. And so this has always been an all-workers fight, but the sort of direct parallels are really clear when you're a writer who's familiar with how Amazon does business talking to a warehouse worker. It's not the same thing. They're very different jobs. We're in a totally different position with Amazon, and we know that. But they're trying to sort of techify and dehumanize all of the business they're involved in, and that affects everybody that works with and for Amazon.
Absolutely. And what are your thoughts on the upcoming UPS strike? Do you have any?
We're in full solidarity with UPS. We work very closely with the Teamsters. In New York, we work with Local 817. They're the theatrical Teamsters. So we know them, they're our friends, and when we know that the fight extends to other members of the Teamsters Union, we'll be there for them.
Yeah, the Teamsters we wouldn't have been able to successfully shut down so many
100%.
TV and film productions without the help of the Teamsters. That sort of kicked off a whole arm of this strike, where when we were picketing a production, the Teamsters signaled early on that we will respect a picket line where we see it, and they did over and over again. And so that's why so much production has screeched to a halt in both New York and LA. And so, yeah, Teamster solidarity, 100%.
And what that's ended up doing is costing millions of dollars to the studios, because when they help shut down a production by not crossing our picket line, their day's production is completely scuppered. So even though it is not the Teamsters' fight, they are in solidarity with us. And I think what it does is it sends a larger message to the studios that they mess with one of us, they mess with all of us. And what I hope the message that goes out to Bezos and to Amazon today is that extends to warehouse workers, that extends to fulfillment center workers, that extends to workers of every discipline within and without the entertainment industry.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
And I'm out here to support the writers because I have several friends that are writers, and they should totally get paid what they deserve.
Absolutely. And what do you think about the Amazon?
Oh, I'm so happy for them. I'm so glad that they got it. I was watching it through the news, and I was like, I really hope they get it. So I'm really glad they did.
Absolutely. Can I see your sign?
Oh, yeah. I went to the rally in Manhattan this morning, and I was wearing wedges earlier, and they hurt my feet, so now I'm just wearing. Now I'm in sandals.
Is there something else on the back?
Oh, yeah.
I can only ask that you go back to your mom and pop stores on days like this, especially. I understand some people, need Prime for certain things, emergency purposes and stuff, but, if we could, level them that way, where we're not, using them and tripling on Prime Day, you know what I mean, and use our mom and pop stores, our area stores again, get up off our lazy butts, get to the store instead of ordering online. That would make a big difference to the cause, because that's how they live. These Prime days, peak season, that's how, they make their money. You know, all these advertisements, and those are the days that they take advantage of people because they're, you know, and people don't realize it. They're double ordering, triple ordering, and there's millions of it doing at the same time. When, you know what I'm saying, they are, if everybody just goes, when they have these times to their own stores, the mom and pop, support your local mom and pop stores because you still need them. They are part of your community and they need you. You give to them and they're giving back to the community. You know, Prime's not giving to anybody but themselves, so don't make any mistake about it. Jeff, he's the only one that's, you know, becoming richer in this whole thing.
What's it like for a worker on Prime Day? Like, what's it like?
It's stress. Stress on your mind and your feet, your body, period. Because you're doubling, and they expect double and triple output on these days. They try to give you incentives, you know, parties, or hey, this floor's doing that, let's beat them out and show them that we're the best. They try to give you that type of morale feeling like it's all a team thing when it's not a team thing. And it's just you busting your ass for them and them benefiting, you know. And you know, maybe at week's end after Prime or peak or whatever's over, you might get a little pizza party, or you might get a charro in the lunchroom. Hey, those charros, you know what I mean? You get shit like that. They treat you like you're a fucking animal. Bottom line, you know after your dog does a flip and they give it a treat, that's what they're giving. They're giving you charros and slices of pizza and bullshit like that. You know what I'm saying? That's how they thank you. Instead of fucking helping you out, get a raise, instead of helping you when you need accommodations, instead of doing the right thing for their people, so that people in turn, I'm loyal. You do the right thing for me, I got your back. But you're not gonna do the right thing, especially when you're in a 90% black place. You think like, you know, you're just slaving us out, you know, and I'm here to say like our people have to wake up. They have to wake up and realize that $500 a week ain't what they're supposed to be making. They're supposed to be making a hell of a lot more. You know what I'm saying? They have to wake up and realize that they're being treated badly as far as break times. You know, they have to wake up and realize that these people are fucking not with them. They're just waiting for them to fuck out so they can fuck up, so they can kick them the fuck out and let the next person in. And, I mean, basics. And you know, and that's what's going on here. Like I always say, people used to get offended at me, but I'm a real dude, so I'm gonna keep it real for everybody. And I've been in the streets before, so you know, I've been on both sides, so you know, they can cut all that bullshit out, but they'd rather see you coming out that gutter over there after a crack run or a fucking drug run. You know, 3 weeks you done cleaned up and slicked your hair back, and then you come in there and they give you a job. You know why? Because they don't want you to think any fucking way. They just want these two arms, this torso, and these legs. So that tells you right there that you're nothing more than a biological robot here. And as soon as they're able to make automatic and autonomous robots, your ass is out. So people need to wake up. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely.
Hi, my name is Terica Clark. I just joined the union. I've been at Amazon going on well over 2 years, close to 3. And I've been through a lot of things in this building, and I'm one of the associates that they don't like because I speak up on things that should be said. I say them not to hear myself talk, but I say them because they need to be said. Like, you got a lot of people in this building that have positions that they shouldn't have. You have a lot of managers in this building that play favoritism because that's what they do. And I'm an associate that I've been through hell and high water in this building. I got injured in this building on account of a negligent manager. I've had to have surgery on my hands to the point to where managers was trying to make me pack and rebend with stitches in my hands. And the leave that they give me is not long enough. I'm like, how am I supposed to heal when in reality, you know, I had 2 major surgeries on my hands, and now I'm having an issue with my hip. Why do I have to continuously get an accommodation when I have one that's indefinite? I shouldn't have to keep going to my doctor to tell y'all the same things over and over. They want you on the clock for maximum hours with minimum break. Okay, for instance, the scan to scan. If break is if everything runs scan to scan, that means I'm not getting a 15-minute break. I want all 15 minutes of that. If these quarters are too long, and then you burning your employees out, you wonder why they coming in fatigued, and you wonder why half of them want VTO and they want to go home. Y'all got us in here for max hours with what? Paying us peanuts. When we should be making more than that when the cost of living is through the roof. And it's not fair for me to have to beg AMs to train me in positions that I've been begging them for, and I see people that only been here less than a year getting positions I've been begging to be trained for. It's like a lot of managers in here, they show favoritism, and like the shift I'm on now, I don't feel any support from those managers. So this is why I transfer from shift to shift, because they throw managers around and then trying to adjust to a new manager, and it literally sucks. There's no structure in this building, and something needs to be done. Something needs to be in place for people like me, associates. I'm a team player. Anybody that knows me can tell you, I go in there, I help. I don't care what department it's in. I always try to help. But now it's to the point to where I felt like I'm being taken advantage of. All of the labor sharing. If my department is ship dock, that's where I'm supposed to be. Don't try to send me the pick. Don't try to send me the airfee. It's not my problem. That's a you problem, not a me problem. I come in this building to do my work, not other people's work. I'm not getting paid to be labor share. And they was like, read your contract. I don't have to read no contract. Fair is fair. If you're gonna have me doing multiple jobs, pay me multiple salaries. End of discussion. Absolutely. And I feel bad for some of these people coming in here because they have no idea what they're walking into. Promise of a bonus. When I got my bonus, they taxed that thing straight down the middle. And I'm like, how can you tax 0 hours work? That's stealing, that's illegal. Then you use I've had issues as far as my paychecks. Like right now, they owe me money for my premium shift that they never paid me for. And I had HR putting in a ticket for it. It's like, if it's not one thing with JFK 8, it's another. And we need to stand up and start doing stuff. This is for you guys. This is for the members of this building. Because Bezos don't give a crap. He's self-made. He doesn't care. That's what we want to be. But we're getting stepped on like 4th of July. You give us 8 hours holiday pay. Why would you make us come in here? Oh, how are you doing? I want to be home with my family. That's how I'm doing. And they don't understand that. They don't care. But you know what? Terica L. Clark, remember that name. She gonna make them care.
I know you touched on it a little bit, but is there, for people who are hesitant about being a part of this union, what would you say to them?
Wake up, pay attention, be aware of your surroundings, and know what we're trying to do is to better for the employees, not for the company.